of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everybody signed up to speak under recognition of visitors. Does anybody want to? Didn't know about it? Okay. Roll call.
Pusateri? Here. Whittlesey?
Here.
Gump?
Here.
Fletcher? Here. Jones? Here.
Meeting is called to order. And then anything under President's report? So,
I just have a brief thing under Superintendent's report. In front of you here, you'll see the Senate Bill 210 timeline in action for the limit access to unhealthy foods and beverages. This is just a summary sheet showing that we are in compliance with everything that needs to be done. Talking about this here at our board meeting gives us what we need to be able to say that we presented at the board level. I do have Doris Mills here, if anybody does have any questions in regards to the cafeteria program. And I'm sorry for the last bit of notice, we wanted to get this done here. Doris, anything you want to add?
I just say that we're trying with the low-fat stuff with the kids, and the kids aren't liking it real well. But, you know, we go by the guidelines, the healthier generation there, and GFS gives us guidelines for what we can purchase, and our drinks they do too. But they're not adapting real well to it.
And I'll just mention, Doris has been doing a fantastic job of getting us into compliance with everything. There's a lot of stuff between state and federal that she's had to keep up with and implement here, so I appreciate all of her efforts.
I know, I mean, from what I've heard, that the numbers are down in the ones that are buying, and unfortunately, luckily, you're still able to be self-sufficient, so
It
that's
may
wonderful.
even go down more next year because new guidelines are going in for the lunch too. And it's all these vegetables that the kids don't like, reds and greens and yellows. And we have to have them, and they have to be on their tray for it to be a reimbursable meal. Yeah, they're going to throw it away, but their intent is if we put it there, maybe they'll taste it, and maybe they'll like it. But there's going to be a
Do
lot
they
of
have
ways.
little kids, people that are making these?
Well, it's the state, the federal. The state doesn't always agree with what the federal
Yeah.
brings down there, but
Do you see a difference in the different age groups of any of them that eat more of the vegetables or not?
not really. They think if we introduce them to the little ones, and if they get it at home, they'll eat it here. But if they're not getting it home, they don't even want to hear it.
I just wondered, because it's always funny, because for some of the parties or whatever, Jennifer will take in a vegetable tray. And she says the kids go crazy after the vegetables.
They want us
For like one of
to.
their, and that's which surprised me, because little kids in 4th grade eating vegetables, you know. Okay.
That was my next question was, if you have to give them vegetables, can you give them dip with it? Or like carrots with like a syrup over it? Or, I know that doesn't sound healthy, but
Right, but they do, but you can give
as a
them.
mom, you do everything to make them eat that.
Right, the fat-free ranch, they want ranch for everything.
Yeah.
And there is fat-free ranches, so if you eat it, it's not as good, but we have used it there. And the cookies, they let you know what grandma cookies are. I mean, we couldn't keep those on the shelf last year. We're not allowed to have them. Cookies do not sell real well. They're just not the same.
Try making a grilled cheese sandwich with low-fat cheese. You can't, it won't melt.
It does not melt. We've done it. And no butter. They spray. We tried it with the spray to cut down on the fat.
I am so glad I'm a child of the Southerners. You do a great job, though. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Lisa mentioned staying self-supporting, if you will. And Doris does do a fabulous job. I remember back years ago, before Doris, the cafeteria was not self-supporting.
3 years.
Yeah, and she's done a great job of turning that around. It's been self-supporting for as long as you've been in there, as far as I can remember.
It's a combined effort. My cooks do a tremendous job.
You kind of have the same you're kind of stuck in the same rut we are. The state and the federal government puts all these rules on you, and you have to work within that, and nobody likes them, but you're kind of stuck having to do it, and somehow it works, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So moving to the consent agenda, then I have a couple comments here before making a motion. The first thing is the Waterloo Education Association contract, effective July 1 through June 30th, 2013. And I just want to mention, I guess in particular to WEA, who's Thor, union president's here with us today, and then also in regards to the OPSI union and our secretary union, that we approved contracts for that same time period last week at our regular meeting. Through the willingness of them to work with us here in the district, we're collectively able to save almost $215,000 off of what our projected deficit is for next year. And, and then there's a little bit more on top of that because the same type of salary stuff is happening for non-union employees here too. We already did those in March or whenever the other contracts came up. But that's a significant amount of money. We're looking at $520,000, $215,000 off of that saves jobs. And ultimately, when they save jobs, that saves programs for these kids here at school. That makes class sizes for these kids smaller. And so, we appreciate the efforts of WEA, and we appreciate the efforts of the other union for stepping up here and continuing to help us out. It'd be noted that this is going to be the second year for all employees here of the same no increase when it comes to base and steps on their salaries. And then for WEA and some others here in the district, that goes back even further a year before that, where there was not that full effect in place, but on the base 2 years ago. So I thoroughly appreciate what your union has done and what the others have done. B and D, I want to mention here that those are corrections that we need to make from last week's meeting. For B, we had issued a limited when it should have been continuing for them. And on D, she actually should have received a salary because she's already in the middle of the 2 year. So we're just correcting those actions. That's all.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Make the motion.
Second? Any questions or comments? I agree with Andy. I was thinking that was going to be my comments too, that we're very blessed to have the unions that we have and the people that we have working for us that have worked with us because for this difficult time, they have helped it a lot by being cooperative. And I know it's not easy for everybody, but makes it a little bit better. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Roll call?
Pusateri,
Abstain?
Whittlesey,
Yes.
Gump,
Yes.
Fletcher,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Can I add, my vote of abstaining is not due to anything, is only due to the fact that I have a spouse that is a member of the WEA, and therefore I'm not allowed to participate in that. So no, nothing, it's not a vote due to any displeasure or anything like that. It's just all we have to do.
Okay, I have a motion to recess into executive session for to consider one or more, which is employment. A2.
So moved?
Second. Roll call?
Pusateri,
Yes.
Whittlesey,
Yes.
Gump,
Yes.
Fletcher,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
It should be very brief.
We
but
shouldn't have any action.
We do
We
anticipate
do have
action
an action,
following,
okay.
but this should be a very brief.
Okay.
Sorry?